Let's head to Hotland. You hold your hand close to your chest. Your hand throbs. You hold them close to your chest as you move forward. Flowey calmly guides you. There is a lab not too far, he says. Keep moving. You do. Each step forward boons. Your injury throbs. You have many more cuts. Your pair of leggings are ripped up and partly stained from your blood. All of your other cuts are easily ignored in favor of your freshly throbbing in your hand. You don't have the mentality to look around or focus on anything other than flying Flowey. He stops beside a white building. Go on then, he says. It's never locked. When you approach, the door slides open. Dr. Officers. Flowey tilts his head. Weird. No one visited her, so she never bothered to lock her door. You walk inside, and once you are greeted by crisp, cool, air-conditioning air. You hadn't realised you were burning up until you felt the temperature difference. Makes you shiver. Wait here. Let me look for some medical supplies first, says Flowey. You look at the tiled floor. Can Flowey walk across it with his roots? No, says Flowey. I use magic to get around. I face through things. It's tiring, but since you carried me all this way, I've been able to rest. Leave this to me, okay? You give Flowey a smile and thank him for his help. Flowey tips himself out of the backpack. As soon as he hits the ground, he burrows under it. It's an odd sight, like seeing a dolphin dive in the ocean, not a flower hitting the ground. You come to Severin before he returns. He drops a box filled with green vials and a spray bottle. He uses vine leaves to attach one of the vials to the spray bottle, then he starts to spray your injury. He starts with your skinless hands first. The green magical liquid is cool against your injury. You watch in amazement as your skin regrows and the dried blood evaporates. Your pain vanishes and is replaced by a tingling, numb sensation. You have been healed! It's kind of like when you play one of the Resident Evil games, isn't it? Where Ethan chops off his hands and he's like, whoa, we'll just put some, magical water on and then poof, my hand is reattached. You're like, what the hell, Ethan? You ask him, let's see. Flowey sighs. His petals are dropping. You ask him if he's okay. Guess I'm kind of tired, Flowey says with a small smile. Do you mind if we rest for a few minutes? Of course. You pull up your backpack and help Flowey back inside. Once settled, he rests his head on your shoulders and closes his eyes. You take the time to look around. You're in a large room with white and grey tiles, white walls and fluorescent lighting. There are shelves filled with odd contraptions you can't identify. The book written in a language you can't read. On closer sight, looks like the writings you saw in the ruins. There is a workbench filled with tools on one end, and on the opposite end is a massive monitor with some kind of computer system set up around it. It looks like something straight out of a comic book. You've never seen such a setup before. You wonder if the owner took inspiration from classical villain lairs. Wait, the monitor is flashing red. Warning system failure. Taking care not to jostle Flowey, you make your way over to the computer. There are hundreds of buttons to press, and it takes you a while to find the one marked as Enter. The warning disappears and a report is pulled up on its own. Warning, unknown power surge detected in system. System overload. Warning, fires detected in sub-level 5 through 8. Fire suppression system activated. Warning, second power surge detected in the system. System overload. Warning, lost connection with levels 5 through 15. System overload. Warning, cannot reconnect to repair parts. System overload. Warning, please evacuate. Well, that's not good. It says to evacuate. That's probably a good idea. Flowey raises his head and squints as he reads the screen. Oh, well, that explains some things. At your curious expression, Flowey elaborates in the overall cheerful tone. The place is a mess. Since we got what we came for, we should leave. You glance at the monitor. Leaving would definitely be the safest option. As you turn to do so, a thought pops in your head. Where is Dr. Alphys? You've not encountered anyone on the way to the lab. You do not spread any alerts on the way. The only thing that tells you this place is dangerous are the warnings on the monitor. There are no sirens, no flashing lights, absolutely nothing to alert anyone outside the lab that something is wrong. According to Flowey, no one comes to the laboratory often either. So if there was an issue like there is currently, would someone have found it earlier and helped Dr. Alphys? You hope so, but you don't feel confident that's the case. Thought he might have seen something when facing through the lab. Maybe he can confirm if it's empty. Should you ask? Ask Flowey if anyone was inside. Flowey does not meet your gaze. You gently ask him again. You'll put yourself in danger if I tell you. That's your decision to make, isn't it? I don't want to lose you, says Flowey. I feel with you. Oh, Flowey feels things. Oh, my sweet little flower. It's okay. It's because Flowey doesn't normally feel anything, does he? Because of the soul. And now he's actually feeling stuff and he's scared to lose. Like, he's feeling other emotions that he hasn't felt in a long time. Like, he feels safe, he feels happy, and he hasn't felt those things in the longest time since he's been down here in Underfell. Poor baby. You blink your violet eyes at him. The way he words that was odd. Still, it's clear your friend is distressed. You reassure him you'll be okay. He's silent for a minute, silently looking down at the tiles. I think Dr. Alphys is trapped in the basement. Then you'll have to rescue her. Why? He asks. Do you know what she's done to humans? Do you know what she's done to her fellow monsters? She's evil. I mean... what she does doesn't define who you are. You're not going to turn your back on someone who needs help. Why are you so... Flowey looks up with a mixture of fondness and exasperation. I hate that part of you. You very much doubt that. Oh, shut up, Flowey sighs. I think she's in the basement. There's only one elevator here. He looks at the massive steel door in the back of the room. Looks, well, you'll see. Yes, you will. The first thing, first got to get through that door. It looks like there's a keypad on the right side of it, so you need to find a password first. What are the odds of a royal scientist leaving around a physical copy of their password? Not very high, Flowey deadpans. You can probably take a few guesses before it locks you out, though. You approach the door. Someone here needs help. It's up to you to save them, and you will. You are filled with determination. You make an attempt at the keypad. Most passcodes give you 3 tries, so 2 guesses should be fine. Your first guess is completely wrong. The door light flashes red and a metal plate slides over the keypad. Ah, okay. Guess not that keypad. Oh gosh golly, what a shame. Guess we should leave now, says Flowey. Really, Flowey? I mean, we can't do anything now, right? Flowey presses. Come on, let's leave. The royal scientist isn't worth the effort, trust me. Nothing you can do? There is a way though. Isn't there? A way to undo. You're going back in time before, haven't you? As you called your soul, sure you can call the other thing. The sensation of coming back to life. Oh my god, am I going to use the reset to retry the door? Smart move. My character's smart. Not like super intelligent, but she's a bit smart. Coming back to life. You focus on your soul and it beats in tandem with your heart. You can do this, can't you? Yes. Yes, you can. You breathe out slowly and focus on the last time you felt determination. The world tilts and everything goes black. You feel the hands on you. Everything seems slow and uncomfortable. There's a mere sense of wrongness about this situation that triggers a sense of panic within you. Death was bodiless and you have no sensation. Here you arguably can feel too much. You're someone cold and very, very not alone. Oh my goodness. Gaster? Gaster, is that you? A shudder goes through you. Well done, child. Oh my goodness. Hi, Gaster. It's good to see you, buddy. Don't worry. I'm going for your out next, my darling. Don't worry. Well, that was something. But you did it. You were back in the laboratory before you tried the keypad. You decided to guess a few more combinations. This might take some time, but it's something you have plenty of. And then the door locks up again, and you know what you have to do. You go back to that void. Oh my goodness, am I just going to get to talk to Gaster? There are hands on your shoulders. There are hands on your arms. There are hands on your waist. There are hands on your legs. Wait, why are you touching me all over the place, buddy? I get you have multiple hands, but you really need to be touching my legs. You cannot see. You cannot move. You're in a cold, black, inky sludge that weighs you down. Then you hear that voice again. Because you are you. It is a distortion. It comes out staticky and glitchy in your head, like listening to a broken radio. And I am me. It buzzes and cracks. It hurts to listen. You want to flinch away from it, but you cannot move, and it feels like it's inside you. I will help you. Oh, well, that's nice of you. The hand tightens around you. Oh my goodness, Gaster's actually helping me. Thank you so much, Gaster. He gave me the code. Round of applause for Gaster, being the lovely, nice monster, helping me out even if he's a bit touchy. When you are back again, whole, warm, alive, not in that void, you cannot help but reflexively suck in a big gulp of air. You shudder and feel like you need a cold shower for your soul to cleanse that wrongness. That was nothing. When you reset, you're in a place that is neither alive nor dead. You can only call it a void because you have no other words to describe it. It's an uncomfortable place. It feels wrong. It's very, very wrong. Those were the numbers that the voice gave you. 071316. If they work, what does that mean? You make your way over to the door. Your hands shake as you type in the number. And the door slides open. Whoa, first try. Good job. Sally praises you. No, not the first. Not by yourself. You take a shaky breath. Although you are not in the void, his presence lingers on you like a wet blanket. It feels much more exhausting to reset than it does to die. What is that place? Why can you go there? Why is it so horrible? Are you okay? Chloe asks you. You are okay. You can do this. You give him a tired smile. It's time to progress. Let's say, Dr. Alphys. You enter the corridor and at once you see issues. The tiles are sterilized white, as are the walls. The fluorescent light flickers ominously. There is a partial cave-in down the hallway. Wall debris is stacked upon each other as live wires and chunks of ceiling dangle from above. You cautiously walk down the hallway. You climb through the rubble. It's a bit of a tight fit. There's only barely enough room for you and Flowey to crawl through. You hop onto the concrete rubble and start to make your way through. The light continues to flicker, making it difficult to see. You feel a headache coming on now. You hope you're... Thankfully you have excellent vision so it doesn't bother you too much. You finally make it through to the other side. You swing your leg down and touch the floor. Ah, there's a zing of energy. It doesn't hurt. It's over too quickly to hurt. Well, biscuits, you have died. And I think Gaster says something by here. You wasted no time in typing in the passcode again. You move with purpose and crawl through the debris again. This time, you take your time to properly examine the area. The other side. It looks like when part of the wall collapsed, it caused a water leak. The floor is mostly covered in water. Thankfully, the water doesn't reach the elevator, so there's a safe spot. The live wires have fallen into the water and are pumping out enough power to instantly kill you if you touch. I thought you'd hear the spark, though, or something, you know? Maybe it's just silent. You can see the elevator on the far end. It's lit up, so there must be some power to it. There's only one way forward, and you see no other door or hallway, so you must get to it. The question is, how? Don't know about that. Since war is only conducted, will be immediately safe across the world once that. Yeah. I think this should work. So what I chose by here, because it makes the most sense, which is you think you saw rope and things you can use as hooks in the first room. You can create a rope hook and drag the wire out of the water. Since war is only conducted, it would be immediately safe to cross over the wires are removed. With your plan decided, you get to work. You return to the main room and quickly find the items you need. You tie everything together, then climb back through. It takes you a few tries, but you do get the way out of the water. You hop down and breathe a sigh of relief for not instantly dying. There's a reason you chose this option. You always prefer to think smarter, not harder. Clever you. At the elevator, you press the button to call it. There's a rumbling sound. Don't try to go all the way down in it, Flowey warns you. When I was scouting, I went down the shaft and there was some kind of blockage halfway through. Then you'll have to take the elevator halfway down and try to find another way to reach Dr. Alphys. You enter the elevator. Flowey presses a button for you with one of his vines. The elevator shakes as it goes down, and you hear the sound of metal grating against metal. The elevator abruptly stops, and it slams to a halt with enough force that it throws you to the ground. The lights go out. You breathe out a sigh and call upon your soul for light. There's a mercenary heart above, Flowey points out to you. You thank Flowey. He reaches up with his vines to pop the lid off for you. His vines hook around the top, and then he detaches them from himself. They should hold our weight long enough to get out, he says. Oh, Flowey's kicking butt today. You thank him again for his help. He smiles weakly. I like helping you. It's so nice, Twinkle. I don't want anything bad to happen to you. You feel the same way about him. You grip the vines and use them to climb your way up. It's a struggle. I'm definitely going down Flowey's route. I love this Flowey. He's so freaking sweet. He's best boy. With a hoist, you pull yourself out of the elevator. With the glow of your soul, you take a look at the elevator shaft. It looks like the inside of every elevator shaft you've seen in movies. A concrete tube with metal poles and wires. Flowey glances around with you. We aren't near the blockage, Flowey says. I don't know why we stopped. That's okay. You would have to get off anyway. You peer around the darkness, and you can see you are partway stopped on another floor, but the doors are closed shut. You head over to the door and try to force it open. It actually pops open with little resistance. Lucky. You enter the new hallway. It is pitch black and eerily quiet. While you have the light of your soul, you cannot help but wish you had some music. Really? Because I've got music playing right now. You think back to your encounter with Shiren. Her musical notes would certainly light up this hallway. Time to do more exploring. The idea of exploring an evil scientist's unstable laboratory in the dark fills you with determination. That would scare the shit out of me. Your soul casts everything in a pink shade. The sterile white and grey speckled tiles are now an off-shade pink. This hallway doesn't look collapsed, but given the stage of what you've already seen, you should be careful. You can't see what's happening behind the walls or ceiling, so anything could give way at any moment. You proceed. This place gives me the chills, Flowey mutters. He rests his head on his shoulders as you walk. It is cold, but it's not as bad as Snowdon. Not what I meant, Flowey says when he chuckles. You really aren't afraid of anything, are you? That's not true. Everyone's afraid of something. You are not impervious. Yeah. Are you afraid now? You are, but that's okay. You can be brave. That's right. Being afraid just means you have a chance to be brave. You're amazing, Flowey sighs into her neck. I wish I was like you. You already think Flowey is amazing. You couldn't have come this far without him. I'm sure you could have, he whispers. Flowey pauses for a moment and mumbles. I bet you could have convinced that smiley trout sprout to help you if I wasn't there. You shake your head. If Sans wanted to come along, he would have. Flowey's your friend. Sans is, well, potentially a boyfriend. Flowey chuckles at that. Not counting for taste, he stinks like mustard. You protest that. It only makes your friend laugh harder. At least he seems happier now. After some time of walking, Flowey rests his head on your shoulder again. You get the feeling he's tired. He did expend a lot of magical energy to go through the lab and get the supplies to heal you, as well as use his vine to help you escape the elevator. He must be exhausted. You decide to let him sleep in peace. You'll figure your way through this on your own. You've got this. Okay. We've come so far in this as well, and again, hardly any of this would have been possible if not for Flowey. Flowey's been such a supportive character. I love Flowey in this. I love his character, I love his, like, reactions. He's so freaking cute. I don't want anything to happen to Flowey. Okay. The hallway is a dead end, and every door is locked tight with passcode. At least there's power to some of the doors, if not the lights. Time for a repeat. You take a deep breath and feel a surge of determination inside of you. First try, first try, first try! You do your best to try and manifest that the code you type in the first time will be it, so you can skip the void. You give it a shot. It doesn't work. Biscuits. With a grimace, you start to reset. Gah! It somehow got worse than the last time. You sink into an inky, cold sludge that feels like 1,000 centipedes made of goo climbing across you. Ew. The little legs prick your skin and make it itchy. Meanwhile, the sludge continues to pull you further into the darkness and weighs you down. You are simultaneously drowning in gunk while goo centipedes crawl across you. Ugh. It's not painful, but the sense of wrongness you feel about the situation unnerves you. You feel nauseous. The hands are on you again. Good lord, really? Gaster, is this really the only way you can communicate is to put your hands on me? There is a way. Go through the vents. You return to reality and shudder. The distorted voice echoes in your mind, reverberating against your skull. At least he's helping me. You rub your arms to try and eliminate the lingering sensation of having bugs crawl across you. What is the Oogie Boogie? The voice suggested the vents. On the surface, vents are too small to crawl through, but perhaps it's different for monsters. You look around for an air vent. You find one at the bottom of one of the walls. It's easy to pry off once you get a good grip. With the light of your soul, you have no trouble finding your way inside. There is a layer of grime and dust in it, though. At least it doesn't hurt you. There's a ladder attached to each vent going down, so you can effortlessly move down floors. Well, that's good. For several floors, you move down without issue. You count the floors as you go down. You recall there are 18 buttons on the elevator, and there was only a down arrow on the elevator when summoning from the first floor. Wait, so how do you send it back up then? If there's only a down button, how do you go up? You infer that there is no floor above the ground floor, which means there are 17 floors to go down. Ah, okay, that makes sense. But that's... okay. The elevator stopped working 5 floors down, so you have to climb down 12 levels. Oh, good lord. Unfortunately, before you can climb down any further, you run into some blockage. There's some kind of white goo in the vent. Ew. You poke it. It's cold and elasticy. You haven't seen anything like it. You're not sure why it's there. You have to exit the vent here and try to find another section of vent to crawl down. You climb back up to an opening and kick the vent open. Gosh, who would have expected you to be doing such a workout in here? At least you're climbing down instead of up. Getting back out, you're not looking forward to that. Use the back of your sleeves to wipe away your sweat. The new floor you're on looks heavily charred. There's white foam scattered across the blackened floors and hall. It's clear to you that there was a fly on this floor. You look up and see from dangling from sprinkler heads in the ceiling. The lamp must have activated some kind of fire suppression system, the foam, and put it out. Did the fire originate on this floor? You see a gaping hole further down the hallway. You drop below to the next floor and re-enter the vents to continue on your way. Or, you know, some rooms no longer have doors on them. You could explore. Let's explore this floor then. It smells like melted plastic. You hope your friend can rest through the stench. Let's enter the room on the far right. As soon as you enter this room, you feel an unnatural chill. A shiver inches its way down your spine, leaving the hair on the back of your neck standing. Everything in this room is well protected from fire because it's all mostly metal and tempered glass. This looks like an operating room. Oh dear. I don't like the sound of that. Did I just... Okay, why is it an operating room? I'm very concerned because you said an operating room. Am I going to see a human or something? Am I going to see something gross? There are metal tables in the center of the room. There's a clipboard with some paper next to one of the trays. You pick it up. It's dated a month ago. Oh dear. There is a sticky note on top of it that reads, delayed dissection to prioritize expansion in the East Perkins. Oh, wait, dissection? Who are we cutting open? You want to know? Never mind, I don't want to know. Oh, I'm going to know anyway. Transcript, dissection of X63. This is Dr. Alphys about to perform dissection of subject X63 brought in by the judge. Transcript for you. Sigh. Transcript for initial operation will now begin. Subject 63 was kept in a vacuum for 15 years, 6 months and 3 days. After death, the vacuum perfectly preserved the corpse. Because the human body is 60% water, keeping it in a vacuum caused an interesting effect. Oh dear. The liquid in the body boiled, changing from liquid to gas. All tissue in the body expanded. Video shows. Ugh. Thank goodness I haven't ate yet. That sounds disgusting. Embolism of the body. Upon entering the vacuum, all liquids and gas pulled out of the orifices and caused a near instant freezing effect. Long pause. Death was in less than 2 minutes. Dissection will confirm cause of death. Rewatching the death video does support a natural hypothesis that a vacuum ray gun should be lethal against humans. As most monsters do not have water, it's possible they could survive a shot. Too muffled to track. I wish Dr. Scarsdale was here to discuss. He's much more familiar with monster anatomy. Computer, please start that the cameras that have it aimed at the tape. Please start the camera. What? Please start the camera and have it aimed at the table. Also, please confirm its ventilation system is working properly. Human corpses always reek. I hope no more humans fall down. Long pause. Computer, please make a note. Subject 63 has a dog tag that reads Nathaniel Cross. Please update our records to rename him. I'm going to start now. End transcription. You set the clipboard back down and look at the operating table, or rather, dissection table. You move around the table and peruse some of the paperwork. It looks like there were many more dissections in this room. The captured humans. The monsters tested ways to have them effectively killed. From the notes between the scientists, they were searching for ways that would kill humans without hurting monsters. It's not surprising when you stop to think about it. From what you've gathered, the monsters have not had good encounters with humans. They're isolated, closed off, and the humans who previously fell down were hostile. You know that it's not the way the humanity is now. Looking at this timeline, you think the humans fell down around the time of the Great War. It's understandable why they would be hostile. It's a tragedy on both ends. The monsters, the humans. You could only hope to make things better going forward. You want to show them humanity has changed. If you can do that, then maybe everyone could be happy. It looks like there's nothing else you can do in this room. Okay. We'll go to the far left then. This room doesn't seem as destroyed as the hallway. The ash and char covers the walls, but the center of the room is untouched. There are bookcases there, and they are encased by some kind of glass wall. Perhaps a safety measure, activated when the fire was detected. You approach the glass enclosed bookshelves. Many of the titles are written in a language you cannot read, but you do see a few books that you can. It'd be nice to take a closer look at them. You put your hand on the gas, curious if you can find a latch or a hatch. The moment your fingers touch it, the glass slides up into the ceiling. The books are free to be examined. Oh my... okay. Book titled The Barrier. This book is more like a collection of loose papers stapled together. It was handwritten and the pages are yellowed with age. There are several different handwriting styles on it and sticky notes attached to some pages. The Barrier. The barrier requires maintenance every 10 years. Okay. It was initially placed over Underfell by 7 human wizards to keep the monsters sealed and hidden. It deteriorated over the course of a century, and without maintenance, it will evaporate. So every 10 years, they have to, like, go and fix it? Magic must be constantly supplied to the barrier. This is activated using Dr. Gaster's core. Every 10 years, a human soul must be fused into the barrier to maintain the excellent enchantment requested by the king. Okay. Okay, now I'm really sus. What is this barrier? What is the real purpose for the barrier? You stop reading. The monsters are keeping the barrier by choice? You flip through the pages to see if you can find a reason, but you don't. It only talks about the spell used to cast the barrier, as well as how to maintain it. You sigh as you put it back. Well, that's irritating. Why are they keeping the barrier up? Well, I mean, besides humans being annoying. Let's go with boss monsters. This is the large tome. Boss monsters. An introduction. Boss monsters are the strongest type of monster. Boss monsters are monsters born with a significant boost to their attributes as well as unique abilities. The abilities are hereditary and will be shared amongst the families. Although some members may have more than one unique ability, it should be noted that boss monsters are the only monsters on record with potential to retain a human soul. Although no boss monster has been able to utilize the souls' full power, all captured souls can only act as a supplement source of power to the monster's magic until the energy is depleted. In this book, we will take a look at what triggers a new bloodline of boss monsters to appear, as well as the physical differences between a boss monster's magic and a regular monster's magic, as noted in the Sweets and Gaston lines. You turn the page. It looks like the next page is a list of names. Registered boss monsters. Asgore Dramir. Asgore Dramir, deceased. That we know is not true. He is alive. Breaker Maker, deceased. Cinnamon, deceased. Gerson Riva, deceased. Hazel Sweets, deceased. Justice Maker, deceased. I'm going to laugh, aren't I? Letty Lamb, Harry Lamb, Nescoot, deceased. There's a lot of them that are dead, though. My goodness. Papyrus Gaster. Okay, so yeah. Riviera Persona. So this must be the river person. I like how apparently... Okay, is everybody dead? Bossam. Wait, Tori's missing? He doesn't know his wife is in, He doesn't know his wife's in the ruins? That explains a lot. Okay, so everyone's on here is dead, except for Papyrus, the river person, the judge who we know for a fact is Sans, but it says here, name redacted on request and approved by acting king. Okay. Toriel apparently is missing, but we know she's alive, she's at the ruins. And Dai is alive. And Wingerding's Gasta is missing, but we know we've heard him. You run your finger down the list. To think we've only encountered 2 boss monsters and lived. Wow, you're pretty badass. You've actually encountered, let's see, Papyrus and Dai, Wingerdings, Tori, Flowey, who's Ezreal. You've encountered 5. You wish to have the time to really read the book in depth, but you do have someone to save. It's best to only do a curiosity examination for now, and you put the book away. We saw barriers, so I guess soulmates. Oh my, you've heard the term before on the surface, soulmate, but it was something reserved for a very rare few. But there is only one living pair of soulmates. One is one of the remaining wizards of humanity who is soulbound to a non-magical human. A soulbind can only occur if one partner is magic, so with the decline of magical humans, it is a romanticized concept for humanity. You are curious to know if it is equally precious to monsters. You flip through the book and stop on a glossary page near the front. Soulmates. Soulmates, a union binding 2 souls. Soulbinds, the thread that ties the soulmates. Soul acceptance, a test between 2 souls to check for compatibility as soulmates. Okay. You flip through some pages. The pages feel glossy. History of soulmates. It says the first soul binding between the lighted knights and the darkness prince. Soulbite has been accepted as a sacred union and held above all other unions. Soulmates die together and shall forcibly sever or destroy a soulbind is punishable by death in all kingdoms. You don't mess with it. Understandable. Soulbind is revered to such an extent that it is occurrence the kingdom will close all shops occurring for the day in honor of the sacred union. Oh wow, so it is so important to the monsters that they will actually close shops and stuff. So it's like a marriage, pretty much. They're like, oh my god, it's secret, we need to celebrate this. It's something super duper special. Your eyes widen at the remark. As you continue to read, you realize the monsters hold soulmates as highly as humans. Unlike humans, however, monsters combine much more easily. They are beings made of magic, after all, and they only need to find a soul on the same wavelength as theirs. How envious. You wonder if perhaps you could you find your own soulmate one day? Don't worry, character. We're on the path of trying to track down that skeleton and hopefully get him to be a soulmate. Otherwise, well, I'll probably be dead because, yeah. If so